Hey guys, Matthew here, and today I want to bring you guys a quick video showcase of the Glacial Cascade side of things. So I got a little bit, you could say, impatient and decided to switch over to Glacial Cascade from Ball Lightning at level 82, which is absolutely not something I recommend. Now, of course, not only is not something I recommend, the change to the tree, meaning that we are getting 100% Glacial Cascade as cold damage post changes, makes it so we don't need to waste these 2 jewel sockets, which means we get 4 additional skill points to use everywhere else. And by switching a Glacial Cascade at level 82, I had to sacrifice all of my Scion life wheel, which makes it so, as you can see, my life pool is absolutely atrocious right now. We still do have the MOM combination of Mind Over Matter and screen-wide freezes, which makes the build still fairly tanky. To make up for the change to Vengeful Commander being changed from 30% to 20%, I'm using only 2 of them for the total of 60%, which you will get from using 3 of them after the change. So that's pretty much what's going on here. Normally I would have about 8 to 10 or 8 more levels before switching, so I would keep all of this. I would not need these 2 jewel sockets, which means I would be able to get my last Vengeful Commander. I would have about an extra 500 life or so, and the rest of the build and the rest of the gear stays the exact same that I showed in the video yesterday for Ball Lightning. We are still using the same garbage Chaos Recipe gear. We are still using a 5-link. Now, the links may change because of the change to the AoE overlap with with Glacial Cascade post changes. Essentially, what's happening is that our damage is getting nerfed by a lot. The base damage on Glacial Cascade, this 429 to 644, is getting nerfed by a lot. I'm using a level 20 Glacial Cascade, so nothing crazy there. It does have quality on it, though. Level 20 Conic Effect does have quality. 20 Hypothermia, and then level 18 Cold Pen, level 18 Control Destruction. So let's just say this is some pretty easy to achieve kind of gem levels and whatnot. The only real investment is the wands, which have, this one has +1 physical, this one has +1 cold. Now I explain how to make those wands very easily. You're going to use Screaming, Essences of Woe, or Shrieking. It really comes down to your budget, until you get either +1 cold or +1 fizz. Once you get that, you craft on cast speed and you're basically done. You've got endgame weapons, which will take you deep into red maps with absolutely no problem. So to quickly talk about what they're changing about Glacial Cascade, as I said, they're removing a lot of our baseline fizz damage, but that's really not that big of a deal because they're giving us 300% damage to the last Cascade, and they're giving us knockback, which means easier AoE overlaps, because now the overlap is basically going to be much easier to achieve given the knockback. So, what you're about to see in terms of both clear and damage, you can expect to be better with the same exact investment in the future post changes. Why? Because our single target damage is going to be better due to the fact that we're getting 300% damage on the last Cascade. The clear is better due to the knockbacks, meaning more AoE overlaps. And I don't know if you guys saw the video of the showcase of Glacial Cascade, but the actual clear on the skill looks insane. It is literally screen wide, which it is not at the moment because I am using Conic Effect, which means I am getting smaller clear, which will no longer be the case after the change, which means our clear is going to be even better. So overall, whatever you're about to see, you can expect to be better in pretty much every way, shape, or form. So I'll just go ahead and run some whatever T14 map just to showcase the build. Now, of course, as I mentioned yesterday, I do not expect to be farming T14 maps at level 82 with Chaos Recipe gear. This is more limit testing, and I want to show you guys what it looks like. So it looks like we have minus max res, and nothing else that's too crazy. We do have monsters action speed cannot be modified below base value, which is annoying considering freeze is a good portion of our defense, but everything else on there seems to be rather fine. So let's just go ahead and jump into the map and get right into showing the build and what it actually looks like and what it can actually do. So let's get to clearing. So you guys can see what the clear looks like with about 100 chaos investment at this point would be my guess. We have about 100 chaos invested into this build, including the 5-link tremor rod, the jewels, and everything else. Because now the cluster jewels used to be pretty expensive, but what happened is that now that they changed the level requirement for cluster jewels for the jewel sockets, spawning on the gem as low as level 1, we don't need to have high level cluster jewels anymore to actually get the benefit of having two jewel sockets available on them, which is a pretty big advantage because the price of cluster jewels becomes a lot more reasonable. So cluster jewels, which you might have expected to pay, you know, multiple exalts or even, you know, 100 chaos for, now can sell for 5 or 10 chaos because of it. So I really quickly want to show you guys the single target damage and what that would look like. Glacial Cascade is known to have good single target damage. As you can see, a T14 map boss is literally a joke for this build, and that means that subsequent, you know, map boss or T16s and whatever are also going to be literally a joke. Awakener 8 Cyrus on a 5 link, also a joke. Now think about that, we're getting triple the damage on the last Cascade on the ball lightning, or sorry, on the post changes build, means that our actual single target damage is as high as twice as what you just saw, especially due to the overlap of the AoE, if you position your totems correctly. So I don't know what you guys think about this, but when I see this kind of clear and this kind of single target on a build that I've invested about 100 chaos in at level 82 with chaos recipe gear, surviving T14 maps without even taking a single bit of damage at, with 2,800 life, I call this impressive at the very least. Not necessarily overpowered, but the clear speed does not feel bad. It doesn't feel slow. It doesn't feel clunky because we're playing totems. Everything feels pretty damn insane, and the bosses go down within seconds. So that's basically the showcase of what you can expect your Glacial Cascade to look like post-nerf. Taking consideration the nerf to Vengeful Commander, taking consideration the 100% physical converted to cold, taking in consideration the fact that we're level 82 and all that. And you've got yourself a pretty insane league starter, if I do say so myself. As always, though, I want to say a huge thank you to my supporters, Mario, Luro, for 20, Gaikona, Kfish, Dr. Radu, Scott, Zerashi, Kevin, Castigus, Matus, and Diesel Boy. Huge thank you to you guys, and also, thanks to anybody else who supports me through different platforms, and, of course, who wishes to remain anonymous. And until the next one, that'll be Matthew signing out. Peace.